is Thursday night. It's 6 o'clock. This is Lifted Live. If you haven't been here before, because we are fairly new to the old Facebook Live, this is where myself and typically, Dustin has been the face, the guest star most of this season.
Yeah, I think 3 of the 7 have been here.
We sit down and discuss truck stuff, and we have a little topic, but we also want to hear questions that you guys have out in the community, either about our topic or just truck questions in general, and we'll do our best to answer them.
I'm trying not to make this make a lot of noise because
Dustin
Brian's
just
going
wants to play with his microphone
freak
this
out
entire
otherwise.
time.
I'm sorry, okay?
Normally Brad and I would be doing this, but Brad has the Miller High Life flu.
Ooh, he's not feeling too good, huh?
He's not feeling too good.
Stonks, dude.
If you just stick to the Busch lattes, he'd be fine.
Yeah, see?
So tonight, guys, we are going to talk about something that, I'm sorry if I look like shit. I apologize. I've been working on my own truck all
Did
day.
somebody tell you looked bad?
No, I saw myself on the screen. And I was like, wow, I look like I got hit by a truck.
Because somebody on Instagram was definitely like, yikes, that's a face only a mother could love. And I was like, got him.
We'll have that.
Yikes.
It's 90 degrees here in Wisconsin with 110% humidity.
It's gross.
It's super gross. We have no AC in the shop. It's very nice up here. But and I've been working on my truck all day, which is how I came up with our theme for tonight, which is a question I get asked a ton, being the shop here, is how much is it going to cost to build my truck? And that's a very loaded question because is it a new truck? Is it an old truck? Are you going for complete show or just daily driver? We'll cover all of those bases. But I was working on my truck, breaking my knuckles open, being like, wow, I wish I could afford to just pay somebody to do this for me. But, like, I like doing it myself.
Sorry, I had to screenshot that there. I had a good question, but I'm going to save it for later because it's actually a good one to have good conversation for.
Okay,
so
perfect.
I'm just going to keep...
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll start on the low end at something that... We have a lot of North Carolina. What's going on, guys? Sorry we put the whole lift kit in around here. I know you guys are fans of
North Carolina. I got you guys. I'm not about it, but I know you guys are about it, so good for you, you know.
Apparently, my mic is super quiet, or I'm just super quiet. I'm really, really tired, so I might just be really quiet. It could just be me.
You're on Facebook, so they're definitely it's going to sound like you're quiet.
Yeah, so I apologize.
Ryan, you can turn his gain up if you have to. Which one are you on? Are you on this one or that one? Hang on. Don't talk at the same time. So this is my mic, but everyone is lit up right now. Okay.
And this is my mic. And I'm really, really tired, so you might have to really turn it up. I'm not going to lie. All right. Hopefully we got that sorted out. Anyway, let's discuss. What are you looking at?
A hostile forged wheel. They're
Wow.
trying to figure out what wheel that is.
Where?
Where? It's in... Oh, this is in Slack, so it's a work thing.
Can you not be in work things when we're
sorry,
doing work
okay,
things?
I'm sorry. All right, I'm going back to Instagram. It popped up, and I'm like a squirrel. I just got, like, sidetracked, you know, or like a dog when I see a squirrel. Oh, my God. It's been a terrible day. This is bad. I'm going to stop talking now.
We have a subject to talk about.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, we're
all
going
right,
to start...
Banker, how much do I have to pay you to build my truck?
That's a great question. So, for what Dustin's looking at, a Cat-Eye Duramax 2500 truck, that's actually usable. Now, this is going to vary compared to where you live, right? I mean, that's a given. And the biggest thing to think about is what kind of condition the truck is in. If you're going to have to fix some stuff, don't think that a lift kit is going to fix everything, because a lift kit uses your stock components and just moves them.
It lifts them.
Yeah, lifts them.
Actually, it lowers them, so the truck goes up. Stuff goes down.
My brain hurts too much. It's been a long day, okay? Yes, that is what it does. So, on top of all of that, you've got the cost of your lift kit. And contrary to what so many emails I get, the price of the lift kit on the website is not included install.
Correct.
You're going to have to pay somebody to put that in or struggle through it in your garage. And if you live in Texas or California or anywhere south of here, you can probably handle putting something in an 06 Duramax by yourself in your garage or with your buddies with a couple of beers. You can probably handle that. Up here, you're going to be swearing. You're going to need the torch. You're going to need all of the WD-40.
Impact sockets.
All the impacts. You're going to break a few.
Broken bolt extractors and or rounded nut extractors, because you'll probably run into all that too.
Yeah, exactly. So, and when you're looking for, if you're going to do it yourself, yeah, you can get by pretty cheap. If you're going to be paying somebody to do it, be prepared for that, because it's not cheap. I know we're pretty high. We kind of know what we're doing, though. I mean, that's kind of a given. General rule of thumb, I would say, is the nicer the shop, the better the quality, typically. That means that they've got some money that they've reinvested into their building and everything like that. At the same time, I've seen like some pretty rundown shacks put out some amazing work. So it all kind of comes down to that. Check reputations before you take it somewhere.
Talk to people.
Talk to people that have had stuff done.
Had trucks built by them.
And more than just one.
Correct.
Because, I mean, even we get burned by that around here every once in a while. Somebody just doesn't like us, so they just say, I would never take it there. And then they take it somewhere else, and then we end up fixing it anyway for more money.
Oops.
But remember, a nicer shop, you're going to have more overhead, so you're going to have to pay them a little bit more because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing a little bit better. So on average, up here, let's say Dustin picks up a 4-inch rough country for his Cat-Eye Duramax.
Hypothetically, of course. We're working on the Cat-Eye Duramax part.
Right, and
so if you have a clean one, let me know.
I would probably not let him get a rough country anyway. But for argument's sake, that's what we're working with.
They're
right?
good lifts for the price.
They
right?
are.
You know.
They are. But I think you're better than that.
Hey, now.
I appreciate you more.
Stop it. I'm blushing.
Anyway, this train is just off the tracks tonight. Up here, you're going to pay almost $2,000 just in labor to get this thing put in. You're talking, I mean, and the other argument is, Rough Country says it only takes 6 to 8 hours to put that kit in. That's how long it took them in 2006 with 2 guys as the truck came off the assembly line and everything was brand new.
Correct.
So if your truck is super clean and you got another buddy that's experienced, yeah, you can do it in a fairly short amount of time. If you're paying a shop, they got to pay 2 guys upwards of $20, $25 an hour to work on that truck. So you're paying at minimum right there $50 an hour if they have no overhead.
Correct.
Up here, for argument's sake, our shop rate's $105 an hour,
which is pretty standard, I think. I don't think that should come to a surprise, and maybe they'll let us know that we're wrong, but that's a pretty standard shop rate, is $100 to $125 an hour everywhere that I've seen, at least in Wisconsin.
Yeah, up here, and we're prepared to deal with all of the broken things. I think that's why we're more expensive.
Probably.
It's more of that if you really want us to mess with your truck.
Your hair, by the way, is
sorry,
wild today, buddy.
I told you. I am very sweaty. I'm finally cooling down. It's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, up here, you're talking upwards of $2,000 by the time we break everything loose, replace a bunch of parts, and spend the time. It's not a 6 to 8 hour job, and people always get kind of surprised by that. They'll see that the website says, this is 6 to 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours. On average, on a truck that old, we spend like 20 hours getting that truck apart, getting it back together.
How long did you spend on Blair's truck?
Oh, Blair's truck, on his 01 2500, we had 24 and a half hours in labor into that thing. Getting keys and torsion bars out took almost 6 hours of just heat, hammer with the air hammer.
Yeah. And I think that's a super important thing to touch on when you look at building your truck, or having someone build your truck rather, unless it's brand new. A lot of the cost is not in actually putting the components in, right? A lot of the cost is actually getting the stock stuff out, or what did you break getting it out?
Right.
Or, I guess option number 3 is also, what parts should you replace while you're already in there?
Yeah, and I get that question a lot too, and it varies for truck to truck. Things like that age that has a straight steering with the Pitman arm and idler arm, you're always going to want to replace that. Those never come out, ever. They basically weld them in from the factory, and rust just does even better job of holding that stuff in. So you're talking a couple more hours there.
Mm-hmm.
It adds up quick, and you can't forget alignment and the other things we do around here that that don't cost you anything, like clean them and test drive them, and you want somebody that's going to be going through your truck after it's done and not just pump it out, get it out the door.
Correct.
Yep. I'd definitely say be very wary of any shop that says they can do a 6-inch lift in one day. Bring it in the morning, we'll get you out in the afternoon. That's scary to me. Even if you got 4 guys working on it, you don't know that Jim didn't tighten his bolts because he thought Bob was going to check it.
Correct.
And then you go down the road rattling and something falls off.
Yeah, and that's what I'd be worried about too is, part of a good shop install is the test drive, is the, how many times have you guys come back and said, hey, something doesn't feel quite right, or it's got a little shimmy, and get under there and just retorque everything and make sure everything's good. You don't get that with an in and out type of situation.
Absolutely.
And that's huge.
And that's even a thing to consider, even new trucks. Those trucks, everything's brand new, but you still got to go back through it and make sure, I'm dying right now. Aspirin plus latte. Whew.
That's a terrible combination. Yikes. And some pizza besides?
Just trying to stay alive over here.
Yeah, I know it. I mean, if you would have got your truck built before 2 weeks before LTN, we wouldn't have this problem. But
there's this little thing, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, called Corona.
Like the beer?
Like the beer, but much, much worse.
Oh, Jesus.
That is slowing everything down.
Yeah, amen. I hear you.
We touched on that a few weeks ago.
Yes, we did.
Anyway. Yeah, Austin. Yes, Austin. If you have a few bolts left over, it's lighter and it's faster now.
Yeah, so you're race car.
Yeah, you will have bolts left over, so don't be scared. they do. They give you so many more new bolts. You're gonna have some left over, and a lot of these kits. That's another thing to consider is don't be too worried about leftover bolts. You're gonna have a lot of stock bolts left over, and some of these kits fit multiple vehicles.
Yep.
So you might not need some of the stuff.
So they send you all the hardware.
They send you all the hardware for everything it fits. So. There's that as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's just kind of coming full circle, though. I think the biggest thing to touch on when you pay someone or when you build your truck in general, regardless if you pay someone or you do it yourself, actually, is that additional cost that a lot of guys don't think of. Yeah. Even on a brand new truck, I mean, something doesn't come apart right, or it.
Yeah. Or if the truck's brand new, like like my truck, we haven't really done a few. I actually have to read the directions to figure out where things go. I have, I'm putting in a truck that I've only worked on a couple of.
Yep.
In a kit that doesn't even exist yet. So it's that's going to take a little bit longer too, and that's got to be factored in. Just because it's a brand new truck doesn't mean it's going to get pumped out in 6 hours either. You got to take all that in consideration.
So let's change gears. We talked a lot about installing lift kit and wheel and tires, but let's touch on what it costs to build the rest of the truck.
Right.
Because that's we get asked a lot. I get asked a ton when I have either one of the trucks out. Hey, how much did it cost to build CO2? What did it cost to build K350? And there's a lot of stuff there that I don't think people think about.
Absolutely. And obviously, building a SEMA truck, you don't necessarily pay retail for a lot of stuff. But I mean, if we did, we've got 50, 60 grand stuck into that truck.
Plus the truck. Yeah, I always tell people the Archon truck, 120 G's. All day, every day.
Easily, yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
I do have a running spreadsheet of what we paid versus what cost and everything was, and it's just over 50,000 in parts and labor into that truck.
And we get super lucky, of course, because we're very blessed to have sponsors, that help us make that build happen. But otherwise it's a lot of dollars.
I mean, you talk about take CO2 custom headlights.
Mm-hmm.
They're a stock headlight, but we had to take them apart, put cubes in them, paint them. You've got 10 man hours in headlights plus paint.
Right, that's $2,000, maybe a little more.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
$2,500 in headlights right there. That's just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The cubes. Everybody asked me about the fog lights. I don't even remember how I did it anymore. It's been so long. But I know I spent at least a full day trying to figure out how to get those bad boys mounted in there.
So that's all custom fab.
That's all custom fabrication.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
holy cow.
Those are egg cubes. Those were designed for
There's tractor lights, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, they're very bright. They're very big. Powder coat like the 350. Mm-hmm. It's just a little bit of red. That is $3,500 worth of powder coat right there.
Well, there's a lot of powder on that truck, and I don't think people realize that. And powder coat isn't just spray the powder on and bake it. Powder coat is also do the sandblasting, clean the metal up, take the burrs off, because if you have burrs, if you have grooves, you'll see all of that in the powder coat. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, then you got to be careful with it when you're putting it in. So
Correct.
now you have more man-hours putting it in.
Because you're taping stuff off to put
Yep.
bolts in. And
Taping it off. You're being super careful. You're not, you know, whipping it around. You got to make sure you don't scratch a single thing.
Correct. Yep, absolutely. Grounded Visuals wants to know if we're going to Myrtle.
When is Myrtle?
I think it's like this weekend or maybe next weekend. I don't know.
It must be this weekend because it's like
Because Daytona's next weekend,
Yeah,
right?
'cause it's
and
like
then LTN is
Myrtle
the
Beach.
weekend after.
Daytona, LTN, and then we have the Appleton show.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, there's a lot going on.
Oh, he says October.
Oh, October? Then we might be able to...
That might be a thing.
That might be doable.
I was just about to ask where it was. Oh my God, it's been a long day.
We'll see if we can make that happen.
October we might be able to make happen though. That's far enough out yet. September is going to be crazy for us just with LTN having to build trucks. We've got a local show the weekend after LTN here.
Yeah, we got a lot of local stuff. They finally opened us up a little bit, and we're able to do the floodgates before it gets too cold here in Wisconsin. So.
Yeah, because by the time October rolls around, it's 40 degrees up here. But Myrtle Beach sounds real nice in October.
It does.
Send me the details. Let me know when, and I'll see what I can shake out.
As long as it's not Halloween, because I'm a big Halloween fan.
Yeah, we can't go to a truck show on Halloween. No.
No, we have to go around scaring children on Halloween.
With the air horn.
Yes,
Blop, blop.
large trucks.
Let's do it.
I love Halloween. This show is so off the rails.
You
tonight,
can
people.
tell that
I'm
we've had
so sorry.
such a crazy day.
So
Let's talk toe mirrors. It's a question from the audience.
okay.
Do you like toe mirrors? Would you put toe mirrors on? Because your truck didn't come with toe mirrors, right?
Okay, so
Ooh, this is gonna be a spicy one.
I'm just gonna address Christopher right here real quick.
What do you say?
Christopher Brown, you're gonna want to go check out the old Instagram. You'll see a few updates on my truck.
Ooh, it's hot.
It's bright. Anyway, toe mirrors. I love toe mirrors on literally everything, and then my truck happened. Right? And they look decent on the 2500s.
Yep.
I just don't. I haven't seen enough in person on my body style, my 1500s, to justify doing it. I'm still a little weirded out about them mounting the mirror on the door, like
Yeah, it's
the
a
door
little
panel, not
weird.
the weird thing. But otherwise, I love toe mirrors. But I use my trucks as trucks all the time, pulling my boat around.
Oh, Subaru!
And it needs head gaskets.
Oh,
Anyway,
piston ring forest
so
failure.
I can barely drive a vehicle without tow mirrors at this point because I rely on them so much.
Yeah.
My truck's got a giant backup camera, and I forget it's there. Like I'm used to using my mirrors. I'm old.
I love tow mirrors. I've always loved tow mirrors, not only for the functionality aspect and the fact that you can actually see what's behind you. And I'll let you in on a little secret. I actually tow a lot. Like at least once a month, I'm usually putting something behind a truck on a trailer. So for me, tow mirrors are super functional, but I think like they also look super good.
They do, but like I don't know. Maybe Taylor took my 50-inch off the black truck, right? So now it kind of just looks like a kid with big ears with the tow mirrors on it. And I'm getting back used to it. I just think I've looked at it with a light bar on it for 5 years. For so long that it looks a bit goofy now. But like I can see so much out of that truck, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You can see all sorts of
I'm a
value.
big fan of tow mirrors on literally everything. The Super Duty ones on F-150s look a little out of place, but
depends on what body style.
yeah,
F-150
the new so like the 09 to 14 looks a little weird.
Yep.
But the 15 and up, I mean, it's the same cab as the Super Duty, so it looks perfectly proportionate.
Fantastic. Correct.
So,
lots of questions on the 30x16s we unboxed. Guys are asking where they are. We are working on it, I promise. We had a little hiccup with the data getting it onto the website, but we are working on it. I think it should be any day now that'll go live, and everything should be available for order. The cool thing is Extreme Motor has inventory, so they're ready to ship. As soon as they hit the website, they'll launch. So pretty cool stuff.
that'll be sweet. Hopefully there's tires available.
Yeah, that's a massive wheel. Like, that's a big girl, 30x16.
I wouldn't mind putting a set on my truck.
Oh?
Just to do it.
I mean, I know people. We could probably make that happen.
We need to find like some ag tires though, because I can't fit 42s.
Can we put some 38-inch tractor tires on it?
They would fit realistically.
I don't know if you can get. I don't know if you can get
I need some,
38s on a 30-inch wheel.
Some floats.
I bet you can. I bet you can get like a 420, like a 420 80 R30 ag tire, like a floater tire.
Will it fit a 16 though? Because aren't those are typically 14-inch wheels, 15-inch.
Yeah, so you stretch it a little bit. It'll be fine.
Stretched egg tires.
Let's
I love it.
Go.
Love it. The new trends. Oh.
I have one guy that wants to know why his ridge graps are like 13 inches wide, not 12.5.
You're welcome.
Because that's how Nitto does stuff. They're wide tires.
They are. It's because they give you so much side lug.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anybody. I mean, is that
He's
a complaint?
He's not complaining. He's just asking. He's like, hey man, I saw it in your video. You know, I saw you said that they're 12.5s, but they're actually a little wider than a standard 1250. Why is that? And it's just because that's the way their tires are. They have nasty side lug, and so you get that little extra width.
Just a little bit more protection for you.
Correct.
Can't complain too much.
No sir.
We got anything else? Facebook is kind of dead on the old comment or on the questions.
You got anybody? You got a bunch of people watching or no?
We're down to like 20.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're on Instagram. Yeah, it's been pretty good. It's 25 after 6 already, bud.
Holy cow.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. I had one. If you don't have one, I have another one.
Okay.
I had one question real early in the stream.
You said you had a good one.
Yeah, Chris Baker wants to know. I hope he's still watching. So sound off in the comments if you are, so I know that you can hear us actually answering your question. But he wants to know if non-forged wheels are okay for towing.
You know, he can always watch this edit on the Custom Offsets Garage channel on the YouTube.
That's true.
And he'll be able to see his question answered anyway.
Oh, side note, if you're watching right now, we have a garage channel. And you should subscribe. It's pretty cool. You can find it on YouTube.
You really should, because if you like watching this stuff, that's what it's all the informational stuff.
Yeah, it's all the stuff that's super cool info, like a lifts and levels, or how certain wheel and tire matchups look, or
I'm on there a lot, so you should definitely watch the videos.
Yeah, it's basically Cody Banker's YouTube channel.
That would be phenomenal.
Stop
it really would.
Banker, I'm telling you, we should stream Farm Sim. And live stream that way.
I would love to.
I really
would. I need to get a little bit better at it now that I've switched to PC.
Yep. But welcome to the Big Kids Club.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Now we're talking Facebook.
What do you got?
Now we got some things.
Wait, you never answered the question. Are non-forged wheels okay for towing?
Oh yeah, I forgot we had a question.
Yeah, we had a question.
Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Forged wheel. There's no difference. They're completely load rated. Forged wheels are just more expensive and prettier typically.
Prettier, yeah. Usually. I think it's important to note too that because I've heard this question a lot actually. Guys are like, well, you know, is a forged wheel better for towing or worse for towing, or can I tow on a cast wheel? And realize that all of your OEM manufacturer wheels are cast.
That's true.
I'm sure that someplace there was 1 or 2 trim packages that had a forged wheel, but for the most part, they're all low-pressure cast wheels, the same as pretty much everything on the wall behind us.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get like a Raptor with forged something or another on it.
The big thing is to look at your load rating, and just make sure that you're getting a wheel that's load rated, and a tire, which is probably equally as important for load ratings on what you plan on towing. So,
cool.
What's your Facebook question?
There's a couple of good ones in a row here.
Give me a heater.
So Rick wants to know why he wanted a BDS kit.
Okay.
But he's got an older truck.
Okay.
Rick, let us know what you have for a truck. But he said, why does BDS? Why are there no lift kits for his older truck?
Well, it depends on what it is.
It does depend on what it is. In general, if it's a really old truck, these lift kit companies weren't around at the time, so they didn't backdate their lift kits. At the same time, if these trucks are getting harder and harder to find, it doesn't pay for them to keep producing a lift kit for a truck that isn't really around as much anymore. And if it's, something like an 80 Chevy, leaf sprung truck, older Super Duty, stuff like that. Oh, 99 Ram. Rick, there are lots of kits out there for the Ram.
Yeah, that's not all that old, at least not up here.
Yeah, that's the same thing. That's a straight axle truck.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super rare, but it's a rarer truck. So a lot of companies didn't make anything because the trucks are so simple.
Right.
So there's other companies, if there's 3 companies that make the same springs and everything, when that's all you need to lift the truck is a set of springs and a drop bracket.
Yeah.
There's no reason for 8 companies to make kits for something so simple. And then Brad, why does anybody make a 17 by 16?
Woof.
Most trucks newer than like 2015 won't even fit a 17-inch rim. Brakes are so big. I just called a wheel rim.
Yikes. It's been one of those days.
Yeah, so companies aren't going to make that smaller stuff, which is kind of sad because I love like a set of 15 by 14 bullet holes on an OBS Chevy. Like, beautiful.
But I think that's because that was that truck. That was that period. That was that time, right? I don't know that, like, I don't think you could put a set of 16s on CO2 and it would look right. I think it would look weird.
It would look a little odd.
Because it's like the new body lines on the trucks are developed almost there, or they flow with that larger style,
Sure.
So it would be a little bit weird for me to see something like that on that
that is
age
fair.
of truck.
And at the same time, there are still companies out there that make a 17 by 16 like Weld.
Yep.
You're going to be paying like $4,000, and they're going to be 2 or 3 piece, and they're going to be like for like pulling trucks.
Yeah, or mud bogging and shit like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I can't swear on camera. I'm sorry. Shoot like that.
Shoot like that.
Stuff like that. Things like that. I don't know, dude. Don't at me right now, okay?
It's been a long day, guys.
Yeah. But we're happy to be here.
You got anything else over there?
I don't think so.
Tyler, so going along with, sorry, I have an itch. Going along with the show truck stuff, Tyler has a 4th gen Ram, but it's hard to find the blue color that his truck is. So you're going to get the paint code. You can go to a Dodge or Ram dealership, get the paint code for your truck, and you can get paint literally from any paint store as long as you have that paint code. It's going to be in the truck on the VIN plate as well.
Correct.
But that's going to take me way longer to explain to you, and it'll be a lot easier if you just go to the dealership and
a lot of body shops too have what's called a sun gun, which is this cool little thing. It's like this little boxy looking thing, and they put it on like on the paint, and it basically goes through the entire color spectrum, and it will give you a reading based off of what light reflected. And usually they're pretty close, including with, like, I remember when I had my Subaru way back when, I had some stuff painted to match, and he even got like the flake load, because it was a metallic flake in the paint as well. So that's an option too. If you have a body shop close by, those guys will have a sun gun. They can get you that paint code pretty easily. So
yeah, absolutely. And then if the paint's faded out at all, they can match it. It won't
Correct.
look like you have some fresh stuff.
what's a good wheel and tire setup for a 3rd gen Ram? Go.
What?
A good wheel and tire setup for a 3rd gen Ram. Go.
I'm gonna need more information.
Nope, that's all you need.
18 by 9s and 37s.
I wasn't even thinking size-wise. I was just thinking what would be, like, if you had a 3rd gen, which you would probably never have, but if you had one, what would you put on it?
Like color?
No, like what wheel? Because certain wheels work really well with certain body styles. So what would you put on a 3rd gen Ram?
Oof. That's really hard. That's the worst generation of Ram.
Stop it. Archon Lincolns.
Quit sucking up to Sean.
Okay, fine. Anthem Avenger. Also a solid wheel option.
Avenger would look really good.
Yeah, it would.
I put some, I don't know.
Hostile Sprocket would probably work okay too, I think.
In 3rd gen?
Yeah, I think you could get away with it. I do.
I don't know how I feel about directional wheels on a 3rd gen. You need something that's as atrocious as the headlights on it.
Oh my God! Stop it! They're gonna run us out of out of town.
I honestly, it's at your discretion. Those Raceline beadlocks would be pretty sweet.
Ooh, Raceline beadlocks would be hot. I guess it depends on what direction you want to go, because you can do one of two things. You could either go like really big, really showy, or I think you could do a 3rd gen even with like a 17x9 or an 18x9 or something small, you know?
Yeah.
And like a 35.
Mike over here
Yes?
had a fairly decent question over here. He can't find a 20x9 with a -18 offset. That's because they're not going to make anything like that.
Correct.
At 9 inches wide for the strength of the wheel, you're not going to see much more than a -12 offset. Very rare occasions you'll get up to a -18, but that's kind of pushing the limits of where that mounting surface can be in relation to the narrowness of the wheel.
Yep. Ooh, he gave us more information on the 3rd gen.
Okay.
He's 16, first truck. So I'm going to venture to guess it's not lifted.
So it's stock. I hold my answer with my Raceline simulated beadlock.
Yeah, I would agree. Knowing that I think that changes it quite a bit. I would probably still either look at a Raceline or a Method or something small.
Ooh, Method's a little pricey.
Well, hear me out. That's why I said along those lines, which is what brings me full circle back to the Anthem Avenger.
Yeah.
Fantastic wheels, priced awesome. I mean,
but you're not going to get a big width out of it. You're going to get a standard, not get pulled over size.
correct.
So,
Yep. But if you're talking 16, just looking for a good entry level setup, something like that, I would consider doing something like that. You know,
Right.
It's not final form future state for me, but
right.
at 16 years old, I'd do it.
Yeah, and at 16, you're probably looking for, like, I don't know, the top 5 wheels under $1,000.
Oh, it's almost like we just filmed a video like that.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Stay tuned.
you'll probably want to watch for that, because Lawson's going to tell you all about it.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
Right. Okay, so I got time for one more, and Rick has a really good question.
All right.
So we're going to cover on that one, because it can go a multitude of ways.
What do you got?
What do you think is the next big trend in the future?
Ooh, like truck trend specifically?
I guess, yeah.
Ooh. See, last year we thought it was going to be smaller wheel, bigger tire. Because everything was pointing us that direction. SEMA was starting to lean that direction.
Yep, everything was overlanding.
We saw guys spike up, with the little smaller wheel, little bigger tire. I don't know if that's the case, though.
It's hard to say because, now you
I know
have
we haven't gone to any truck shows this year.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
It could go. I think the whole scene is going to split, right? I think
Yeah.
everybody went to big wheel, little tire,
Uh-huh.
and I think you're now going to see them. Half of the people go to the TRX Raptor debate, and the Hemi
PS
and the
EcoBoost.
Jeep and all that fun stuff, and do the small wheel, big tire thing,
Yep.
and then everybody else is going to kind of stick this route and do the 30x16s and the big show stuff.
Yeah.
And there's definitely room for everybody, but I'll be intrigued to see where the EV market goes.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big one. I really do, especially as you're starting to see maybe not even full-on EVs like Rivian and that sort of stuff, but like Jeep just released, they're doing a hybrid.
Yep. GM's re-releasing the Hummer.
Yeah, an all-electric super truck, which is a huge deal. They're not like, oh, hey, here's another giant 6-liter V8 that gets 4 miles to the gallon. It's like, no,
Wish they
here's
would.
same. But here's a fully electric, fully awesome 1,000 horsepower and 1,100 foot-pounds of torque or something crazy, or 11,000 foot-pounds of torque because it's electric. I don't know.
I have
0
no
to
idea.
60 in 3.5 seconds in a full-size SUV? That's gnarly.
That's awesome. It's pretty cool, even though it's gonna go.
Yeah, you'll have to like play the motor soundtrack on the,
Drives me insane.
Yeah, I think though, I had a really good conversation about this with a guy the other day, and I said I think this is what you're gonna see is, 100 years ago, you had to own a horse to get places, and then the car came out, and then people only own horses because they want to, right?
Not necessarily because they want to.
Well, okay, listen, just
but because their
your wife
girlfriend has
one.
them, and now you're forced to take care of them.
Yes, either way. Okay, so certain people own horses because they want to, right? I think that the EV is going to do that for the truck market. Trucks will never go away. Cars will never go away. But I think someday it's going to be, you're going to drive to work Monday through Friday in your EV, and then you're going to own something gasoline or diesel powered to ride around in on the weekends because you can,
I'm just going to be that crabby old man in something very loud and non-eco-friendly.
Correct.
Making all of the little kids angry.
Correct. We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's that time.
That is all we've got for tonight, guys. So remember, Wheels, Tires, Suspension, CustomOffsets.com. And to go out, subscribe to the Garage channel. You'll be able to see this go up on there.
Wait, hold on. Let me look. Before we call her quits, how many subscribers are we up to on the Garage channel? Do you know? Custom Offsets Garage. Let's look.
Why is she calling that?
Oh, God. Don't answer that. We're live.
Yeah.
We're at 309 subscribers.
309.
If we can hit 350 before Monday, we'll raffle off a random t-shirt to somebody.
Hey.
One random t-shirt. So go subscribe right now. Custom Offsets Garage. If you're watching the recording later, you can click the link down below. But when we hit 350 subscribers, we'll draw a random name, and we'll send them a free t-shirt.
I like that plan. I
Boom.
like giving away free stuff.
Dude, who doesn't like free stuff?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. So we will see you next week, and you're going to tune in 2 weeks because we got something really cool we're going to do.
I'm so excited for that.
I almost forgot.
Me too. Ooh, I'm very excited. This should be fun.
Yeah. All right. Later, guys.
Okay, bye.